Rap news, street politics, best hood channel on YouTube, and we back with some more dangerous gangs in LA.
Down, I'm the face for my gang, I'm the face of the town. Roof on the girls, we was thugging for them pounds. From the low bottoms, little baby, I'm from the south. Mama know
Then I gotta get back on that road. I'm from Westside, Hoover Lost, but not the ones that figure road.
Now this time, we got Pico Union on the list. So Pico Union is also going to include hoods that stretch up to East Hollywood. You know, some of the hoods in Pico Union have cliques in East Hollywood. And we going diagonal through the 10 and the 110 and gonna finish off the rest of historic South Central. So, you know, if y'all know the city, y'all, especially if y'all know the West Side, you know, Pico Union gonna press right up against the 10 freeway. And it's really gonna hit up through Koreatown, MacArthur Park, Westlake. And like I said, some of them hoods in these areas is gonna have subsets by the 101 in East Hollywood. So that's why these areas are included in this video. And coming like southeast from Pico Union, pretty much all you gotta do is go down Washington. And you're gonna cross up under the 10 and the 110, bleed through the Harpys, and you're gonna be in like historic South Central. So these hoods is close together. You know what I'm saying? And some of these hoods in Pico Union have subsets in historic South Central too. So this is why we doing all these hoods in these sections of the city. But these sections is right next to each other. Now, a lot of y'all was talking about what we did in that Long Beach video while hoods in like Carson and Wilmington was in that video, you know, and that's my fault for not explaining to y'all why we do it like that. You know, geographically, them cities is right next to each other. Carson, Wilmington, Long Beach, you know what I'm saying? They real close to each other. But, you know, I know some of y'all just wanted to see Long Beach as it is. But Long Beach ain't got that many hoods that was cracking for real out there. You know what I'm saying? We be in these sections, man. That's what we gotta let y'all know. We be in these hoods. So niggas ain't just talking out their ass when they talking about these hoods. You know what I'm saying? It's either popping or it's not. So the list is called Dangerous Gangs. So we gonna give y'all just that. We not just gonna throw some people on the list just because y'all done heard their name, or they may, you know what I'm saying? They may have a little allure off of YouTube or whatever. If they hood not cracking, they not on the list. And you know, something that's different on this list, as you seen everybody that's watching our last videos, you know, you see a lot of Bloods and Crips, a few Sudanio hoods on there. If anybody know these sections that we finna touch on today, this is Trece Central right here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no Crips on this list. I'm gonna let y'all know. No Crips. It's some Bloods on this list, but it's mostly gonna be Hispanic gangs on this list, man. These is the motherfuckers that keep the city jumping. they make this shit look fun sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And we got to touch on their hoods because they are extremely active. And you about to see all these bodies that's dropping out here. These Trece hoods is really putting it down. So we got to get right into it. And you know how we say in every video, man, the top of the list is not better than the bottom of the list or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Of course, some hoods is going to be more active than others at certain times. Some hoods be in different wars. You know what I'm saying? So this list ain't to say the number 24 hood is more active than the number 1 or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? All these hoods is on the map for specific reasons. You know what I'm saying? They've all put in work and they still outside today. So that's why they on the list. We just giving y'all the most dangerous in these sections. And y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to this shit, man. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. We're going to be posting more on that motherfucker. But get us up, get our likes up in this video. So with that being said, we got 24 of these motherfuckers this time. Number 24 is going to be Westside Crazy Riders.
Crazy Riders, nigga, like, they should have never let me out the pen, bro. Like, shit, tell you niggas stop hating on me, nigga. Yeah, look, stop hating on me. What? Why the fuck these niggas hating on me? Cause I track bitches, count money every day. Stop hating on me. What? Why the fuck these niggas hating on me? Cause I crash foreigns and I'm fresh up out the pen. Stop hating on me. What? Why the fuck these niggas hating on me?
Now, Crazy Riders, man. Crazy Riders gonna bust from Olympic to 7th between Burlington and Grandview. Now, this is the Westlake area, but it's right next to MacArthur Park. And, you know, I frequent this place a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is the place where, if you from the city, this is where we get our faces from. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know what faces are, I'm not finna go into it. But if y'all know, you know. If y'all want to find out, come to this area, man. Come to the Crazy Riders.
What job, fool? Hey, where you from? Hey, where you from? I'm Crazy Riders, nigga. Crazy Riders, fool. Hey, fool. I just told you.
Now, Crazy Riders is cracking. Super cracking right here off 8th and Burlington, man. It's no games to be played. They beefing with a set called Crazy Ass Rascals. But you gonna see on this list, man, it's a couple sets that everybody beef with. Crazy Riders beef with 18th Street, MS-13. They also beef with F-13. Crazy Riders is an extremely active hood, man. They've been going at it for years in this section through MacArthur Park, Westlake, Pico Union. And this is not the only set they have. A lot of these Sureño hoods is gonna have different sets in different areas. You know, these motherfuckers will be in Mexico. Crazy Riders is everywhere with it, but they put it down. We didn't see the murder over here a few months ago off 7th and Burlington. Like I told y'all, 8th and Burlington, super popping. And you know, this one thing about Sureño hoods that separate from like black gangs, you know what I'm saying? Not all the time, but black gangs, Crips and Bloods for the most part, they do a lot of popping it on the social media, you know, and I'm sure y'all familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Sureño gangs, you're not gonna find too much on social media. Sometimes you will. We're gonna get into why that is as well. But what you gonna find when you come to their hood, they write their business on the wall. And you know what I'm saying? In this area that we touching on, Westlake, Pico Union, these niggas don't write in alleys either. Man, these niggas will write that shit on your motherfucking house. They right, yeah, leave your car parked in that motherfucker for 2 weeks. They writing that shit on your car. These niggas want you to know based on what they saying on the wall. They're not always going to the internet. But like I said, how we gonna touch on it, some of these Hispanic gangs really be like choloed out, but some of them kind of take on like a black gang persona.
I be trapping on the phone, gotta watch out for the rollers. I don't whip SRTs cause the foreigns cost most. Bitch, how can I come last? I can't be fucking on broke bitches, fucking on my bag. Baby mama on the line, she got life up in the can. Only thing I wish on is me fucking you again. I've been trapping, I've been stacking, pocket full of presidents. I can never walk, average every fit I spin a rack. Mother walking with a mask, praying I don't shoot a rat.
Where they younger generation really get popping and really like be in the mix, similar to how Crips and Bloods would be in the mix. But like I said, some other gangs, they really like keep that Hispanic culture real tight in the gang. But in some gangs, they'll have both. Most of these gangs gonna have both. You know what I'm saying? But like when you see dudes from these hood rapping and they music sound good like these niggas do, you know, that's how you know they kind of crossing over into the black culture as well, but still keeping they same Sureño persona about themselves as well. And you know, a main thing we wanted to do with this video was to show y'all, you know, we know a lot of motherfuckers, they look for the black gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, you know what I'm saying? Because of their style and how they get on and what they see on social media and shit, you know what I'm saying? But we want to show y'all that these Sureño hoods is basically on the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I know the Sureño hoods, like I said, they don't put a lot on the internet, so they don't have that same kind of allure and flashiness that some of the black gangs may have. But man, we here to show y'all differently in these motherfuckers. These hoods is popping, and they got just as much allure, just as much style, but overall, they fully with that gunplay, they fully with all the functionality with this shit. And these areas, they intertwine with black gangs, and they nothing to play with. And you know, Pico Union, man, Pico Union area, it's almost like third world over there. You know what I'm saying? There's so many moving pieces in that motherfucker. It's not your regular residential area. You know what I'm saying? It has a downtown feel, but like the slums, not Skid Row, but like it's very fast paced, extremely crowded. You know what I'm saying? MacArthur Park, Westlake, all these areas is going to be very fast paced sections of the city. So that also brings a different kind of factor with the gang banging, opposed to like West Side, South Central, East Side, shit, even the projects, Inglewood, all them areas is low key residential. You know what I'm saying? In this video, Pico Union is not that typical residential feel that you might think of. You'll get that feel when we get to the East Side, the South Central, closer to the Low Bottom, and of course that East Hollywood. Them is real residential areas. But when you over here in Westlake, popping by MacArthur Park, man, you are completely in the mix. That Crazy Rider hood, 18th Street, MS, Drifters, Rockwood. Man, that shit is a mess over there, man. And it's popping. But nonetheless, Crazy Riders an extremely active gang in Westlake. Now, number 23, this is a hood a lot of y'all been waiting for. Throughout all our videos, somebody say, well, what about them dudes? What about them? Why you ain't put them in here? Because I've been waiting for this. Pico Union, all these sections is where it's really jumping with these dudes. 18th Street and Barrio 18.
Gotta get my nut out, then I gotta get back on that road. I'm from Westside, Hoover Lost, but not the ones in Figaro. Little baby check me out, and all she wantin' is some more. As I'm chasing for this money, and I'm sipping on this pole. Muddy walking in the show, I fuck your bitch, I let you know. Young nigga, all I'm wanting is a dough. They crack the gates up on the low. Now I'm back and it's a show. Got some killers with me, nigga, and my niggas trying to go. Yeah, all my niggas trying to go. We some real Hoover Lows, nigga. Stop hating and go get dough. Stop hating and go get dough.
Now, everybody know about 18th Street, man. They gets cracking, and they in this section. And in this area alone, they got a Westlake clique, Koreatown clique, Shadow Park. They got Hollywood clique, Mid-City clique, Downtown, and West Adams. That West Adams is who was really popping in with the gear gangs, the Stones, the BPS. They was known to be cool with the schoolyards. But this is the area right here, Pico Union, Olympic and Hoover. These dudes playing no games right here. They beefing with everybody over here. Now, 18th Street was originally trying to be Clanton. You know what I'm saying? We're going to touch on Clanton 14 in this video. But Clanton wasn't having a Clanton 18. 18 broke off from Clanton, and them guys been beefing ever since. And like I said, anybody that know 18, these niggas is the definition of playing ball. They've been known to be in a long-standing feud with Clanton, MS-13, Easy Riders, Witmer St, Crazy Riders. And man, the list just gonna keep going on with all the surrounding hoods around this set. The Drifters, Rockwood Locos, 5th and Hill, they enemies do not stop, man. They pile them up. Because 18th Street, like I said, look how many hoods they got in these sections. And man, when I talk about they hoods, sometimes you'll find some gangs that have different subsets and one is not as cracking as the other. Man, all these niggas hoods is popping. You feel their presence when you're over here in Pico Union. And one thing about a lot of these Sudanio hoods, you know, they run their hood real organized for the most part, especially when they get to prison. But even when you come to these dudes section outside, you know, you can see some form of organization in they shit. When you catch some of they big homies sitting there sipping coffee on 12th and Union and shit, you know what I'm saying? And man, like we said, 18th Street beef with MS. MS-13 and 18th Street account for the most gang homicides in the world. 18th Street is all over the place. It's different countries, different states. 18th Street is popping. And this is where it's really cracking at. Man, they had a dude killed over here like November in a Pico and Union hood off Olympic and Fig. Another dude killed November by the downtown 18 on 9th and Flower. Another dude killed in November on 9th and Flower again. And they Shadow Park clique, the one we was telling y'all in Koreatown. They be beefing with some of the Asians out there, man. Asian man killed in the Asian criminal hood. Now, we can't say if that was Shadow Park or not, but that's the main set that be beefing with them dudes over there. That dude was killed on Wilshire in New Hampshire. Another dude killed in a Westlake hood on Alvarado and 6th. 18 being a lot of beef. Now, a real while ago, man, 18 had a problem. It was like I think it was some type of problem with the tax that was going on with the Mexican Mafia. You know what I'm saying? And some dudes will think 18 is not a Trece gang, but it is. You know what I'm saying? They still tied in with the Mexican Mafia. They tied in with all the operations and they with all the functions. And how I talked about that West Adams clique, because they had all them problems with BPS, they could be seen as a BK hood, but they also had problems with Gear Gang and some of the West LA Crips. But I would say they would be more BK than CK. But again, man, they beefing with more Sudanos than anything. But 18, probably, if not the deepest, one of the deepest hoods in the city compared to F13, MS-13 got members. But man, 18 is all over the place, man. Ain't nothing to be played with, and they be putting it down. Now, 18th Street Pico Union hood is going to go from Olympic to Washington between Hoover and the 110. Like I said, Hoover and Olympic is going to be a main area for these dudes. That little car wash that's over there. There's a McDonald's over there. These dudes gonna be cracking in that whole section. Now, they Westlake clique is gonna be pressed up against MacArthur Park, the Rockwood Locos, from about 7th to Beverly Boulevard. And I would say from Alvarado to Union. That's their Westlake hood. Now, they Shadow Park hood, that's in Koreatown, where we seen that Asian dude get killed. That hood is gonna be, I'll say from like Wilshire to Beverly, between Normandy, and I say like Shadow Park over there by Virgil. Shadow Park is actually a park, and 18 is right there for sure.
BK? Yeah, all right. Yeah. Where you from? 18th Street.
Now, this Pico Union area, all the way up to that East Hollywood I was telling y'all about, most of these hoods is gonna border Western. So from the 110 to Western, between the 10 and the 101, this is where a lot of these sections is really cracking at. Now, 18's West Adam hood, that's gonna go through multiple sections. That's gonna be by the schoolyards, the West Boulevards, the gear gangs, and the city stones. But that's gonna stretch all the way down Adams, between Exposition and the 10, the south side of the 10 though. All the way from like Arlington to Fairfax. That's all West Adams 18. The ones that be beefing with the B's and the C's.
See that silver car? The body is slumped inside. In the driver's seat. It's just laying there. That's the car that got where the Hispanic man walked up. It was an argument in Inglewood, California, over here in the Superior parking lot.
Now, of course, when them other hoods like Westlake, Pico Union, when they come to West Adams, they got the same beef. There's some unity in the 18s, man. And they Mid-City clique, they kind of share that section with the schoolyards. That's the Rempar gangsters. Now, y'all know schoolyard main block on 17th, 18 occupies up that hill, right over there. And then they have a Hollywood clique. This go from like the 101 to Hollywood Boulevard, between Highland and Gower. Now, for y'all that used to function on Hollywood and Highland back in the day, like early 2000, you always run into some young 18th Street niggas up there. It's because they got a Hollywood clique over there. And also in the section, they got the downtown clique, close to 5th and Hill. But this hood is going to be between 6th and 8th and between Grand and Main Street. Now, all these 18s, like I said, is cracking, man. And for this next set, man, number 22 on the list, we staying at Pico Union. Coming down Olympic from that Pico Union 18. Man, Westside Rabbit Gang, Westside Playboys to that set.
I say shut the fuck up, it's a real beat talking. It's been fucked off, we tryna put him in the coffin. We on the pop shit, we ain't driving, bitch, we walking. And if we double back, it's just another op falling. I say shut the fuck up, how many homies up in here? Man, we tryna hit the ops and make they hood disappear. Party on the op block, cause I'm the face they used to fear. Drink got me feeling woozy, but my vision hella clear. Put him in any situation, man, no nigga.
And you know, for y'all that watched our videos, we done touched on Eastside Rabbit Gang, Eastside Playboys that's in South Park off 51st. And man, you know, again, this hood, man, and some of the Sudanio hoods is gonna have black dudes, but it seemed like, man, Rabbit Gang let the black dudes in. The Blackskins be in Rabbit Gang for real. We seen Rich Rabbit from over there, you know what I'm saying? They got more black rappers coming out of PBS. And man, I ain't gonna lie, man, PBS be making this shit look fun, man. They be all over the place. They love drawing on the walls, and they love getting it cracking. Man, y'all want to sign up with PBS, Westside Playboys? They between Olympic and Venice and Vermont and Ardmore. Now, this Westside Playboy, they got 3 Playboy hoods. Westside, Eastside, and Southside. They Pico Union set is actively beefing with the Drifters. Now, some years back, man, somebody from PBS blew a dude from Drifter head off with the shotty. And I'm talking clean off. So they for sure is always going to be at war with the Drifters right now, man. But we also seen these dudes in historic South Central beefing with Eastside to that say. Now, that's probably that Eastside PBS hood, but Westside, Eastside, they fuck with each other, man. And they going to have the same enemies. Now, they are very active on Pico and Venice. But on Pico, right where the Drifters is, they're extremely active. But across Olympic, man, on the north side of their hood, MS-13 is right there. They beefing with MS-13 too. Now, this is where the first Playboy set was derived from, right here off Pico and Fedora. Now, they do got other sets outside of LA, but like I said, it's the big three out here in LA, West Side, East Side, and South Side. And they also in different states, man. PBS is worldwide with it. Now, you know, these dudes also beef with 18th Street. And they gonna beef with Florencia and Venice Showline. Now, the Venice Showline shit is also where they counterparts to Playboy gangsters. Now, they're not the same gang, but they do fuck with each other, you know what I'm saying? But I think Venice is just on that anybody PBK, you know what I'm saying? So Playboy's gonna beef with the Showlines too. And they beefing with Varrio 38th Street. Now, we done seen a man killed over here on Pico in New Hampshire a couple months back in a Pico Union hood, man. The section is extremely active. But like I said, some of these sets, you know, they be really heavily beefing with like 1 or 2 sets, and you can see it on the wall, man. And right now, PBS is really going at it with the drifters. But of course, like I said, they beefing with everybody around them. From MS-13, 18th Street, it's jumping with PBS, man. And that's gonna move us to number 21 on the list. We're gonna hit above Olympic. We going to MS-13, Mara Salvatrucha 13.
Do you know what is in Koreatown now? Or who has always been here and always stay here? Not even South and North Korea can join?
No, I'm not sure what the answer is.
MS God! MS-13, baby!
Nah, everybody know MS-13, man. MS-13 worldwide with this shit, man. They got a Koreatown clique by MacArthur Park. They stretch to MacArthur Park, East Hollywood. These dudes is jumping, man. They historically been known to beef with 18th Street. Like we said, they beef with the drifters. They beef with the Crazy Riders. They beef with the Playboys. They beef with Clanton. These dudes, just like 18, they don't give a fuck who it is. They want to beef with them. Now, this is also a hood where we see them bodies piled up. 18-year-old killed on Monroe by Western and Melrose. That's their East Hollywood clique. Black dude killed on Olympic at 5th. Koreatown. Hispanic man killed on Hoover and James Wood. And they Hollywood clique, man, is active over there beefing with Clanton, man. We was over there, man. It looked like an FBI sting going on over in that motherfucker. It's that jumping. Them dudes be at Lemon Grove Park posted, functioning, politicking, doing all of that. They hood is active. And they be at MacArthur Park. Now, just to give you all a scope of how large these dudes' section is, and like I said, they also push through other hoods. They similar to Florence, where they just be hitting up everywhere and trying to take over territory. But they really going from like Olympic, past MacArthur, past Lafayette Park to about 3rd, and really other parts, they'll go from Olympic to Wilshire. And like we said, they'll go from Western to MacArthur Park to the actual park. And that's over there by the Crazy Riders on Grandview and Parkview, 6th Street. Just to let y'all know, that hood is large. And that's the clique that stretched from Koreatown to MacArthur Park. Now, they got another little section, a part of that hood, that's over there by the Mid-City Stoners between Crenshaw and Arlington and Pico and Olympic. Now, that East Hollywood clique go from like, I'm going to say it go from like Fountain and Wilton. Now, that's over there by Varrio Sur. But these dudes is right up on that 101 all the way down to Melrose between Van Ness and Vermont. Now, that Lemon Grove Park area, that's right on the 101. They beefing heavily with Clanton right there. We gonna get into Clanton, man, but MS-13, they really cracking, they tighten it. And this is a El Salvadorian gang for real. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of El Salvadorians are gonna be in these Hispanic gangs. It's not just Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? And some say, man, when the El Salvadorians got out here, everything just turned up, everything went to that next level. And you know, they even had their own country on another level with 18th Street and MS-13. So El Salvadorians are cracking out here. MS-13 is no exception, man. They truly jumping. And you know, just to show MS-13 being worldwide, here's a rapper from MS-13 from Toronto. You know what I'm saying? MS-13, they got a strong grip through the states. And as you can see, outside the states as well. So that's why we can truly call this a worldwide gang.
Have you ever looked into the eyes of the demon and knew that it blood that he want? Tagging his skull from a ton of a coast. They do this nigga for the love of the soul. All of my hitters, they jump in the store, leave these chopping, they foaming for off when they circled your block. Heard you can't sleep without your light, like nigga got a curfew, nigga. Heard you scared of the dark.
Now, a lot of their leadership seemed to go down. I think that was late last year for some narcotic sales, you know what I'm saying? But a gang like MS-13, them niggas is worldwide. And all y'all know they in multiple states in the U.S., you know what I'm saying? Some little leadership to go down, that shit ain't nothing to them. You know, that's like going to school for them niggas, man. MS-13 is here to stay. And they gonna keep trying to pile them bodies up on their enemies. Now, a hood that's gonna be like south of Pico Union, more like southeast, that's extremely popping on the list, beefing with 18th Street, Primera Flats, a bunch of hoods from Pico Union to the low bottoms. Number 20 on the list, Ghetto Boyz Threse.
Fuck please, bitch. Say fuck please.
Fuck please, nigga.
Fuck your dead homies,
fuck
nigga.
My dead homies. Fuck please.
Nigga, get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Wait for my blood, bro.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. This the ghetto gang, bitch. What? Yeah, bitch. That's right. Fuck your dead homies, nigga.
Now, this ain't PZ Ghetto Boys. It's GBZ, not GBE. These are Sureño Ghetto Boys. And these niggas is extremely active on 27th and 28th between Maple and San Pedro, but really they hood gonna stretch from Adams and 30th to Main and San Pedro. But like I said, we gonna catch these dudes all the way by Central, popping. They beefing heavy with Clanton. Clanton, low bottom hood gonna be over here. Like I said, Ghetto Boys gonna be on 30th. Clanton hood start on 30th over here. Clanton go from 30th and Maple to Jefferson and San Pedro. And some of they hood may go from like San Pedro to Main Street. But Ghetto Boys beefing over here with Clanton. They beefing with Varrio 36th Street. Varrio 36th Street is gonna be a big hood. And like we said, Easy Riders is dealing with Ghetto Boys. They extremely active in this section. They also pushing CK. They right next to the Rollin 20s. Across San Pedro, that's where Rollin 20s gonna be. They beefing with Primera Flats and they beefing with Eastside 13. Ghetto Boys is not to be played with over here. We done seen a body drop right outside they hood on 27th and Hill not too long ago. Ghetto Boys is active and they trying to really get cracking with Varrio 36th Street. Like we say, Varrio 36th Street is a really big hood. Ghetto Boys not playing, even though they don't control a lot of territory over here between Trinity and Maple, 28th, 27th, 29th. Ghetto Boys gonna be getting really active in this section, man. But number 19 on the list, it's not gonna be an enemy of Ghetto Boys, but these dudes got two sections from 33rd to 43rd in these low bottoms. Number 19, Barrio Evil.
He speaking on my name, he acting like he know me. Kill boys, bitch, we try to get him stolen. One time behind us, I hope we don't slip up. Make the bitch choose up, better give the bitch up. South Central demon, bitch, I'm really with the business. I hang around some notes, you hang around some bitches. Bitch, I been the suspect, I'm screaming, fuck the winnings. He acting important, he ain't even on my hit list. Play ball, batter up, get his ball, I'ma pitch it. I'm the type.
Now, BE13, man. They got that rapper Chino the P coming out of here. They got two clicks in Barrio Evil. They got 33rd Street and they got 43rd Street. Now they 33rd Street, they beefing with Mid-City Stoners. We also, you know, like we said, Mid-City Stoners is on 33rd Street between 31st and Jefferson and Central and Griffin. These dudes is on 33rd Street between 32nd and Jefferson and San Pedro and Griffin. These dudes also over here beefing with Varrio 29th Street. Varrio 29th is gonna be like a smaller hood, but they gonna be over here getting cracking with them dudes. Now they also beefing with Varrio 38th Street, and they 43rd Street hood is gonna be beefing with Varrio 41st Street. Now Varrio 41st Street fucks with the 4-pack over here. They 43rd Street hood is gonna be between 42nd Street and 43rd Street. They gonna occupy 42nd place between McKinley and Avalon. Varrio 41st Street, like I said, is gonna be cool with the 4-pack over here at Gilbert Lindsay. 41st place gonna be their most active block over there, but they between King and Vernon, sometimes King and 43rd, maybe King and 41st, and then Avalon and Main Street. So Varrio 41st Street is gonna have a major hood over here, but Barrio Evil, they a small hood, but they get active, man. They really get cracking over here. We done also seen Barrio Evil rapper Chino the P. He was in the videos with the Hoovers, man. He was in there with Poke, getting busy. These dudes are trying to spread their music through the city, and they shit going up on the east side to the west side.
Call yourself a trophy, what made you that trophy? I poured a couple skits, yeah, these suckers, they know me. I roll with big sticks, big chops, and big folders. I'm a one-man soldier, cause I do it by my lonely.
Like I said, they also beefing with Varrio 38th Street. That's another big set that they beefing with. To be a small hood like this and get cracking against these larger gangs, they gotta be putting in work. They in the low bottoms, is jumping in this section. And number 18 on the list, we got Eastside Varrio 36th Street.
In my barrio, you gotta be rough and tough. It say fuck that bluff. In my barrio, gotta have a gunner. Posted with a Nina, finger on the trigger. Popping enemigas, running from the tira. This is how we do it on Maple Avenida. 36th Street gang, yeah, that's por vida. We gotta hold it down, gotta hold it down. For my homies that lost their vida. Gotta hold it down, gotta hold it down. For all my...
Now these hoods, they may sound like they very close together, and they are, but these hoods still control a lot of area. 36th Street, 41st Street, 38th Street. It's still a lot of area to be had. Varrio 36th Street is gonna be between Main Street and Avalon as well, but they gonna stretch from Jefferson to King.
On the hood.
We ain't going nowhere.
Casket drop, we ain't going nowhere, nigga. Long live Lil Mousy, nigga. Lil Mousy. Fuck the police. 36th Street.
All that territory is theirs, man, and they very active on 36 and San Pedro. They active on 37th and Maple. All through this area. They beefing with the Ghetto Boyz. They beefing with Clanton. And they pushing CK heavy. They beefing with the Avalon gangsters. They beefing with the 5 Deuce Broadways. And they beefing with the 4-pack gangsters. 4-pack consisting of 4 Trey, 4 Deuce, 4-8, 40 Avalon, 5 Trey Avalon. Varrio 36th Street is playing ball.
Hey homie, where the fuck y'all from, nigga? You a flea, nigga? Alright homie, 36 gang, nigga, fuck flea, bitch.
But they cool with the blood gangs over here. Across Avalon, man. They're going to be cool with the 30 rules. They're going to be cool with the 20 bloods over here. That's why they also pushing CK heavy, man. They got some reinforcements with them bloods over here. It's also a 39th Street, a Varrio 39th Street over here, and they cool with them dudes as well. They used to beef, but they on good terms with them. But they beefing with Varrio 29th Street. Man, it's a mess over here on the east side of South Central. We still got them, man. After we spent the hour touching on hoods over here, you see it's still cracking in this section, right on top of the low bottoms, and still some cracking in the low bottoms. We just couldn't put these hoods on that east side South Central list because, like I said, we spent the hour on that list. We already had hella shit on that list, but we couldn't leave these dudes out, man. Varrio 36th Street playing ball over here. Now, number 17, we going back across the 110, just a few blocks away from the low bottoms. This area gonna be bleeding across the 10 into Pico Union. They real tight knit and share their hood with the Rollin 20s. Number 17 on the list, we got Harpys to that say, the Dead End Gang.
I inhale the good vibes, the spirit of LA. Peace signs are pastimes, we tune out and escape.
City LA, City LA. It's a new day in the city of LA. City of LA, city of LA. It's a new day in the city.
Now, Harpys share their hood with Rollin 20 Bloods, West Side Rollin 20 Bloods, not the Outlaws. And they got a large section. Like I said, they're going to be from like really Washington. Sometimes you're going to see them on Venice, but let's just say Washington to Jefferson. And some of their hood may stretch all the way past Jefferson to Exposition. And these dudes gonna be right against the 110 going all the way to Arlington. These dudes' hood is huge. And the reason why they call it a Dead End Gang, they hood that's pressed up against that 10 freeway, them is all gonna be dead end streets, man. And they very active in this section. Now, Harpys is definitely known to be pushing CK. They got a good relationship with the Rollin 20s, and they not fucking with no Crips over here, man. This is a hood that wear red. Despite the fact that they Sudanos, they rocking the red, they fucking with the 20s. Now, they got 2 cliques over here. They got the Dead End Gang and they got the Wild Bunch. And these dudes have definitely been in a war with the Harlem 30s. but they also beef with the Easy Riders right here too. And of course, they beef with the 18th Street. I done seen some shit where niggas was saying Shia LaBeouf from Harpys, and the actor dude.
Nah, you just got hijacked, bro. Let me take this now.
Oh,
hey.
Shit.
Oh, there you are.
What's up, man? Your boy Troublesome, motherfucking Shia LaBeouf.
That wasn't sincere at all. We fucked that all the way up.
Start over.
No, we're staying with it now.
We can start over, bro.
Hey, no. I want
Hey, tell them what we got coming, bro. What we got coming together?
And let me just send love and respect to you on air right here.
Oh,
and just say that you're a good man.
And my boy Conejo.
And my boy Conejo.
Dog.
Hey, it's a big deal. He hasn't had a show in 17 fucking years.
Sick. Because he's a real motherfucker that was active in the streets first, homie.
Yeah, he's also got a big heart. Big teddy
heart.
bear, man.
Now, it's been said Shia LaBeouf had his put on from Harpys. I don't know where that came from, when this dude started hanging out with dudes from Harpys. But like I said, they said he from Harpys. He said he from Harpys. As you can see, dude throwing up Harpys every chance he get. It looked like Shia LaBeouf from Harpys. But he wouldn't be the first dude coming from the entertainment industry and looking to get his hands dirty in the streets of LA. You know what I'm saying? So it just seemed crazy a dude like him would be hanging with some Harpys and really being from there. But they said he is, so there you go. But this is a storied hood in LA, man. These dudes, they control a large section and they've been around for a long time, beefing with all these hoods over here. Now in they hood, there was a murder on Flower just south of Adams in December. There was another dude killed on 23rd and Ellendale in November. These dudes is definitely playing ball in this section. You can really catch these dudes on 25th, 27th, 28th. Like I said, all the way down to 39th by Exposition. These dudes is gonna be all through their hood. Now, even though they cool with the Bloods, they went into it with the Harlems and probably some other little Crip gangs. They pushing CK, but they mostly beef with other Sudaño gangs. But again, man, all this bullshit stop when these Sudaño gangs hit prison. When these niggas get to the pen, man, we talking about some unity. I don't know if y'all heard, but they had a situation not too long ago in Ironwood where the Sudaños turned up on the riot. Man, shut all the prisons down out in this motherfucker, man. The Sudaños run the prison system. It's because of their unity. They programmed the right way. They not fucking playing. And you know, you seen what the fuck happened to Money Sign Suede. If you not playing ball with them niggas, they gonna take your ass out.
So yeah, man, this your boy Lay Shark, and the word about Money Sign Suede over here in LA and Cali. The word is, man, that he was being extorted by a prison gang, man. I'm not gonna say no names due to my security, you know. But yeah, man, they saying since he got to the yard, they found out he was famous, man, that he had a rapping deal. And they were extorting him in all type of ways through commissary, shit like that, you know. And I have a homeboy close to me, my boy Rascal. He spoke to somebody in the same prison where Money Suede was killed. He's on the same prison but different yard, man. And so they died. So word in there is that they gave him a couple warnings, man. It's like he even got jumped a few times before being killed. You get me? And if you go to LA Times and read the article about his death, it does say he had different altercations before being killed.
So it's obvious why everybody comes together when they hit the pen, you know what I'm saying? And Harpys is definitely not gonna be doing any different. They tighten it with La M, and they here to stay, man, controlling a large area of the city. Now, leaving the Harpys, a hood that's east of these dudes in the 40s, going back to the low bottoms across the 110, a set that's beefing with Barrio Evil and Primera Flats, number 16 on the list, Eastside Barrio 41st Street.
Yup, so gang, you see where I'm at. Yup, Maple, Tramp 6, that's my block.
Whoa, 41st Street, 4 Tramps.
Whoa, so gang, nigga, where y'all niggas at? Right here, nigga. Dry as a bitch.
They beefing with Varrio 36th Street. Primera Flats is also sliding on these dudes, man. We didn't leave Primera Flats off the list, man. They up there on 23rd. Man, they sliding on these dudes, man. They beefing with them, and they cool with the 4-pack gangsters, man. Varrio 41st Street got a lot of territory over here, man. And these dudes know how to ride on them walls, too. They be cracking with that paint.
That's where you stand, run the mud. The homie dark and chubs, gang banging full flex, nigga, that's what's up, smoking the blunt. Smoke that blunt to the face, no case. Had to do the race, that's a chase. Bring my dogs out the cage. Much respect to the ones that are doing all day. No way, they can't keep me away. Still caught up in the mix, ain't never gonna change. That's the thing.
But they also beef with the Hangout Boys 5-5 bunch. We touched on them dudes in our Eastside South Central video as well. If y'all ain't seen that shit, you need to go fire that motherfucker up, because that video was popping. But oddly enough, man, these dudes is also cracking with the PBS Eastside Rabbit Gang. Now that makes sense. They cool with 4-pack, 4 dudes, 4 Trey, 4-8 gangsters. Them dudes beef for 40 Avalon and 5 Trey Avalon. PBS fuck with the Avalons. 41st fuck with the 4-pack. So 41st gonna be arch enemies with the PBS's. Eastside Playboys over here, they beefing too. Like I said, they be over here at Gilbert Lindsay Park, popping, while the Avalons be at South Park on 51st. This whole section right here, South Park, extremely active, man. We done touched on it before. And Varrio 41st Street, Barrio Evil, these dudes just some more hoods that's over here really playing ball. And again, these hoods is close to this downtown area, next to Pico Union, West Side, South Central, getting it popping in the low bottoms. But moving on to the number 15 hood. And again, these East Hollywood sets, they gonna have sets in East Hollywood, Pico Union, and the low bottoms. But this set right here, number 15, has been popping recently. It's gonna be White Fence to that set. Now, White Fence is another East Hollywood set, an old school set. It's a branch off from the original White Fence hood in East LA. And that's a hood that everybody know about. You know, that's one of them sets that's been around for a very, very long time. But this is one of their newer sets in Hollywood. It's a large set. And you know, a dude that's trying to put White Fence on the map right now, G-Face. You know, he done got out the pen. He rolling with G Uno from Treetop. And man, there's been some things being said about G-Face, you know. Now, he said he came out here from Armenia. And, you know, in this area in East Hollywood, you got Armenian Power, which is Armenian gang, of course. And you got White Fence that has a substantial amount of Armenian members. Now, it's being said G-Face was originally from Armenian Power, which is the rival gang to his current gang, White Fence. And he said his name was Ghost from Armenian Power. And some politicking ended up happening on his cousin. He ended up switching hoods to White Fence and putting in work on his old hood because of that situation, because of them politicking on his big homie, so to speak. Now, this, I'm gonna be honest, is a classic case of hood hopping. You know, this is some hood hopping shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got any other smut on his name. He said he went down, he was sitting in the pen. He met G Uno on a level 4. All that's cool, but, you know, I don't know. It's something about these niggas that's a little off. I don't know, you know, I don't know if it's they extra turned up because they sat down. It's that they still got that pen feel on them. You know what I'm saying? They still, you know, they got that little penitentiary edge and shit. Maybe so, but you know, niggas could be smoking meth. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is moving kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see this nigga in the video with Stupid Young, Yellow Hill. You know what I'm saying? They extra turned up. Now, like I said, it could be just because these niggas done sat down and they in the industry with this shit, you know, they trying to get their name popping, or these niggas could be on some other shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how a nigga from White Fence, nigga Treetop, kicking at this. These niggas is best friends, it seemed like. You know what I'm saying? But again, those hoods don't beef. They real far away from each other. That shit don't mean nothing. The Sudanio hood and the Piru hood kicking it, that shit ain't got no politics attached to it. And man, when I heard that song with him and Stupid Young, man, I was really scratching my head because he had a line in there where he talking about West LA with A-hats. And I'm like, it ain't no gang in West LA that wear A-hats. But then I'm like, okay, I find out he from White Fence, but he's still talking about wearing an A-hat. I'm pretty sure White Fence ain't wearing an A-hat. An A-hat sound like something Armenian Power would be wearing. You know, so I don't know what's really going on with the gang banging and him. Who's to say? But I know White Fence is not in West LA. He say he from West LA. He say, you know, he representing West LA. White Fence is an East Hollywood set. Not far from West LA, but it's not that. But like I said, man, these niggas be turned up. And then we seen him in that interview with Adam 22 and Brick Baby. G Uno was there too. And he was kind of speaking down on the ex-co-hosts and shit there.
Some real shit though. Did anybody know who those people were before No Jumper? I'm just keeping it real, bro. Did anybody know who the fuck Smack was or T-Rail was or OG?
I don't even know who Smack is.
That's what I'm just saying, bro. That old man that came in with the J-Cat with the chair. I mean, just think about it. I'm on some real shit, bro. Look. Your nephew's a real one. I'm talking about AD. If he left, you would still hear dick riding Adam. You should have left, bro. You should have left. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking up from the side. You should have left that same day, bro.
Like, I don't know, man. Something just off with the nigga G-Face. And potentially G Uno, too. I mean, he rolling with the nigga. They got a different vibe to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I have to repeat. It could just be prison. I may be tripping. But reading between the lines, something off between these niggas. And they looking real hungry to get on and get a bag. And, you know, that could be the case. You know, niggas do all that time flexing in front of other men. You know what I'm saying? So when they get out on the streets, that's all they know how to do. Flex in front of other men. Nonetheless, White Fence is active. These dudes' hood gonna go from like Hollywood Boulevard all the way down to Santa Monica Boulevard between Van Ness and Vermont. They got a big section over here. They gonna have the most action between Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset. When you go under Sunset, man, even though this like MS-13 hood stop on Santa Monica Boulevard, MS-13 be bleeding all the way up towards like Fountain. They be bleeding over, man. They be on a takeover mission. But in White Fence hood, they had a black man killed on Hollywood and Western just a few months back too. So it's still jumping in this area, even though it's Hollywood niggas and all this Hollywood, the white people and the gentrification, all that shit real, but this shit real too, man. This is why these gangs are still here and still standing. Now coming out of Hollywood for a second, we shooting back to the low bottoms. We hitting the Blood Hood, the only Blood Hood on this list. This set is said to be a spinoff of the West Side Rollin 20s. Number 14 on the list, we got the Eastside Rollin 20 Outlaw Bloods. Now this is different from the Rollin 20s that's in West Adams with the Harpys, Lauren Miller Park. These Eastside Rollin 20s. It's a spinoff, but they tucked all between Sudaño gangs over here, man. They heavily tight-knit with them 30 rules over here, though. But they gonna be beefing with Barrio 22nd Street, Eastside Trece, who really cracking, Mid-City Stoners, the 4-Pack Crip, and Primera Flats. Now, the Outlaws, they gonna be between Adams and about Jefferson, man. I'm gonna say they gonna stretch all the way down to Jefferson, between San Pedro and Central. This is gonna be Rollin 20s. They gonna be real close to the Mid-City Stoners, and they gonna share their hood with Eastside Trece, who we gonna touch on, who really be beefing with them dudes. Now in they hood, we done seen a black dude killed on 28th and Paloma, and a black female killed on 28th a couple months ago. Again, they also beefing with Varrio 22nd Street. That's just gonna be up San Pedro. These dudes is cracking in the section, man, and they outside, especially on Adams. But they really smashed in between all Sudaño hoods. But the thing for them is these Sudaño hoods is beefing with each other. So it's a lot going on in this section, man. Now this part of South Central is gonna be right up under the 10, between the 110, and like everything else is gonna be pressing up against Long Beach Avenue. Either way, regardless of how big they hood is, they still playing ball over here, and they've been involved in a lot of back and forth bodies with Eastside Trece, which is why the number 13 hood on the list is gonna be Eastside 13.
To the fucking end, with the last motherfuckers of a dying breed. With the last motherfuckers of a dying breed. With the last motherfuckers of a dying breed. With the last motherfuckers of a dying breed.
It's the same old shit with the same old ways. Been keeping it solid since the old days. Sporting 501s, gun tucked in my waist. Shaved up, hood tat on back on my head. And never sport a hat unless the
Eastside Trece over here beefing crazy with Loco Park and Rollin 20s. Now, man, Eastside 13, these dudes over here, man, they hood is nothing to play with. They gonna be between Adams and 32nd and Griffin and Hooper. But man, right, like Naomi, 28th, 27th, Hooper, Central, these areas is gonna be extremely popping with these dudes. They entrenched in a lot of beef. They beef with Loco Park is not dying. They've been beefing with the Outlaw Bloods for quite some time now as well. And since they beefing with the Rollin 20s, they beefing with the 30 Rules. They also over here beefing with Clanton. We told y'all, Clanton has a low bottom hood. They beefing with Eastside 13. They beefing with Mid-City Stoners. They low bottom hood. And since Mid-City Stoners is in Harvard Heights and Mid-City, they're going to be beefing with them dudes too. They beefing with PBS, Eastside PBS and Westside. And they beefing with the Ghetto Boyz. Man, we done also seen these dudes beefing with Florencia and Varrio 38th Street. Eastside 13 is nothing to play with. They going at it with everybody, man. But Loco Park is going to be a big hood next to them we're going to touch on. They really going at it with them dudes, man. Now, these dudes is also in San Bernardino, man. And I see a lot of y'all in the section, they want the IE. Y'all want San Bernardino. Look, we got to be tapped in these sections. I got a few people I can tap in with in Adino. We may be able to get to San Bernardino. But right now, Eastside Trece, low bottoms, they popping. Now, again, these dudes been popping in this section since like the 70s. And some of these hoods on this list, especially this one, if you're not Sureño, most of y'all not going to even know about these hoods. But this is who be putting it down in these sections, man. Between Adam and 31st, Adam and 32nd. We telling y'all, Eastside Trece is cracking. But before we hit this number 12 hood on the list, man, you know how we do it every time. Rap News Street Politics, we the best hood channel on YouTube. We really in these sections, giving y'all the most updated hood politics out here in the streets, man. Like, comment, and subscribe to this shit, man. Hit our Instagram up. We gonna be posting shit on the Instagram. Follow us on that motherfucker, man. Keep rocking with the channel. We not done with this shit, but we got other shit that we coming with, man. Watch Rap News Street Politics. Hit that sub button, keep watching. Now, number 12 on the list, we hit y'all with Eastside Trece. We gonna hit y'all with one of their main enemigos, Loco Park Trece. Now, Loco Park got a big area over here. It's really from like Long Beach or Compton to Central between Adams and Washington. Loco Park is for show on 23rd along with Primera Flats. Now, Primera Flats gonna be on the other side of Central, but Loco Park is beefing with the Rollin 20s, the Outlaws, the Pyrus, the Villains, Eastside Trece, Varrio 38th Street, Primera Flats, and Varrio 22nd Street. Man, Loco Park is extremely active on Naomi, on Hooper. It's popping in these sections, man. Now, Varrio 38th Street, man, we touched on them in our Eastside South Central video. Y'all go check them out in that video. But Loco Park gonna be beefing with them dudes. But like we said, a lot of these hoods, they're gonna be in like a primary beef and a lot of other little mini beefs around. They primary beef right now is gonna be Eastside Trece. Eastside Trece gonna be right across Adams from these dudes. You go down Naomi from Washington, soon as you pass Adams, you in Eastside Trece hood. That's why them and Loco Park is really going at it. Now, it's supposed to be some Crip hoods over here too, some hustler Crips. Now, these dudes ain't outside. They not active. You know what I'm saying? Whatever Crips is supposed to be here, the closest Crip sets that's gonna be active over here is gonna be the Avalons and the 4-Pack Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be real close to this section. But any other hustler Crips or whoever telling y'all some other shit like that, they not popping in this section. Loco Park, Eastside 13, and Rollin 20s is gonna be occupying these areas. No cripping going on over here. Now, Loco Park is also a hood, like we said, that y'all probably not gonna hear about a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it's these hoods that's really putting in work in these sections. Randomly beefing with F13. Now, F13, they not too far. Again, we close. We right here at the low bottoms. We close to the Fadu's Pueblos. We over here. So Loco Park is gonna be here. They playing ball actively. And to head back up to a Trece hood, sitting right on top of Westlake by MS-13, the Crazy Riders and all of them, a hood that has a pretty sizable amount of Filipino gang members in it. Number 11 on the list, we got Temple Street Trece.
Sur up, flip blue. I'm a Temple Street diesel. Sur up, Temple Street gang, hanggang sa kamatayan. Blue, nakalikod ay puro sura. Wag mo ko sintakin kung puro pa kayo uhugin.
Now, these dudes are extremely active on Temple and Coronado and Parkview. Heavy presence is on Coronado and Temple. We done seen a 17-year-old female killed in their hood on Lake and Beverly. and another man killed on Sunset and Silver Lake in October. They hood is jumping, man. And it's crazy that they got Filipino members in this hood, but like a heavy Filipino presence. You know what I'm saying? Not just a couple. That's an identifier for their hood. You know what I'm saying? But they still a Sureño gang.
El puto, viva Sureño, West biggest barrio, numero uno, di umaatras, ganyan pag templero, gangsta kaya, ikaw ay rumispeto.
Put your motherfucking guns in the air, if you don't for Temple Street, let me hear orale. Put your motherfucking guns in the air, if you don't for Temple Street, let me hear orale. Put your motherfucking guns in the
Now, Temple Street is definitely one of the oldest gangs in the city, man. This one of them gangs we talking about that started way back like in the 1920s and 30s. Temple Street is one of them sets. And they hood, they got a very large hood. It stretched from like Sunset Boulevard all the way down to about 3rd Street between Silver Lake Boulevard, Virgil, and Alvarado. Now, you know, Alvarado go all the way back down to Pico Union, where it's cracking at between the 18s, Crazy Riders, all of that. And they hood is pressed up against MS-13 Koreatown set. They beef with them dudes. And like we said, they beef with Clanton as well. And it also should come as no surprise, Temple Street also beef with Barrio 18th Street. Now this is next to historic Filipino town, which is why they have or had such a heavy presence of Filipino members. We heard now that lately it's mostly Hispanic, but when we was over there, man, the Filipinos was still out. Like I said, on Coronado and Temple, it's popping on that street. Now the number 10 hood is a set close to Temple Street, but like we said, this hood got a set in Hollywood. The Low Bottoms, they was on 14th Street. Number 10 on the list, Clanton 14. And even though this is called Clanton 14, they are not a Norteño gang. The 14 is strictly for the street. They still a Sureño hood. Clanton 14, 13.
One thing you don't know about me, about me, about me, about me, about me, about me. I'm a motherfucking CXI me. One thing you don't know about me, about me, about me, about me, about me, about me. I'm a motherfucking HPG. Like I can back take game, I gotta.
Now these dudes got a hood in East Hollywood and the Low Bottoms. We told y'all they Low Bottom hood is by the Ghetto Boyz. They beefing with the Ghetto Boyz. Between 30th and Jefferson and San Pedro and Main. That's the Low Bottom Clanton 14 hood. They East Hollywood set where they beefing heavily with MS-13 is gonna be between Beverly and Melrose and Vermont and Western. But they got a crossroads right there on Melrose going up Kingsley where Lemon Grove Park is, where MS-13 be at. That whole little area right there, Clanton is active in them streets over there. In the East Hollywood set, we seen a dude killed on Normandy and Clinton. Now they seem to be holding their own against MS-13. We done told y'all, man, MS ain't nothing to play with. But Clanton taking on major beef between MS 18th Street, Eastside 13, Ghetto Boyz, and Varrio 36th Street, from East Hollywood to the Low Bottoms. This is an old school set. And this set is how 18th Street started. 18th Street wanted to be Clanton 18 instead of Clanton 14. Clanton 14 said it's a no-go. Green light between both of them hoods, and they still fighting to this day. Now these dudes also beef with La Mirada, Temple Street, and Rockwood Street. Again, Rockwood got a little Koreatown set over here that I told y'all wasn't as popping, but it's still over here in this section next to Clanton and Shadow Park 18. And this is not too far from that Hollywood or Highland where the tourists like to go and shit. Man, MS-13, 18th Street, all these dudes cracking in this area, going straight through the 101, the Hollywood Freeway. But coming south from the Clanton hood in Hollywood, just north of they hood in the Low Bottoms, we going back to Westlake, next to the Crazy Riders, beefing with 18th Street. Number 9 on the list, we got Witmer St. Now, I done been in these niggas' hoods a lot too. My cousin used to stay over there on 7th. But these dudes, like we say, it's a main street that we keep talking about. They hood press up against Olympic. I say like between Olympic and 6th, Olympic and Wilshire, right on the 110 between the 110 and Union. This is Witmer Street, man. Right now, they entrenched in a war with Rockwood Street Locos. But like we said, these dudes, of course, they beef with MS and they beef with 18th Street. That's just nothing new. On the other side of Olympic from their hood, that's where 18 is. But these dudes is really popping on 7th and Witmer, 8th and Witmer, Hartford. It's really popping in this section. Like I said, some of these hoods, they had their primary enemies, and then they beefing with little, they got little beefs in between, but they primary enemies right now that they really whacking out and going at it with is them Rockwood Street Locos. Now, it was a body over here on James Wood, and James Wood is also going to be one of them streets, man, where it's really cracking. It's running the same way as Olympic, man, and it's running through all these hoods. But there was a body over here in the Wimers off James Wood not too long ago. Now, because this area is so close to downtown, right across the 110, they got, Crypto Arena, what used to be the Staples Center where the Lakers play, Convention Center. The city been trying to gentrify these areas for so long, and it's just not budging with these Hispanic gangs, man. Witmer Street been there for a long time. And they patrol by the Rampart division, man. Rampart is all over here, and they active over here. Man, I'm talking about you may pull up at 6, 7 in the morning and see some whole helicopter chasing some old other shit in this area, man. It's really popping between Witmer, 18, Crazy Riders, Rockwood Locos, MS-13, Westlake, Pico Union, jumping on another motherfucking level, man. Now, the hood Witmer Street going back and forth with, we done told y'all who it is across Olympic, just north of they hood. Number 8 on the list, Rockwood Street Locos. 13. Now, Rockwood actually got 2 parts, man. They got this part in Westlake, and they got a part in Koreatown. Now, the part in Koreatown is not too big. It's kind of in that Temple Street area by Shadow Park 18. Them dudes not really over there, but where they are at in Westlake, beefing with Witmer, and they beefing with 18th Street. Now, we have to keep saying it, but I know at this point it's not new. They also beefing with MS-13. There's a couple other hoods over here that we ain't touching on. They beef with Diamond Street and the Diablos. Now, I don't know if them dudes even still around. They may have got wiped off the list by 18 or Rockwood or whoever else over here, but Rockwood is definitely present in this section. We done seen a Latino male killed on 1st and Douglas. That's like the border of their Westlake hood, and another one killed on 1st Street in Madison. Now, these Westside Rockwood cliques aren't the same as the East LA Rockwood. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes are still extremely active. They've been in this section since like the 70s or the 80s, and they've been beefing with 18th Street since about then. Now, they known for some of they real colorful pieces, man, and we done got a couple of these for you, man. Like I said, these hoods over here, they want you to know where you at on these walls, man. Rockwood Locos is definitely putting it out there. And this is going to be kind of close to the 101, 110, like the Echo Park. Right across the 110 is going to be downtown, where they tucked in between the downtown 18 and the Westlake 18. So Rockwood got a pretty big section. They go from like 6th Street to 1st Street between the 110 and Union. This is a historic section for these dudes, man, and they not going nowhere either, Rockwood Locos. Now, a hood that's going to be just south of Rockwood Locos in the Pico Union area, tucked between PBS 18 and MS-13, Westside Drifters 13. Now, the Drifters is an old hood, man. Really, we going to find these dudes south of Pico, close to like 14th to 15th, but they beefing with PBS right here. They beefing with 18th Street. They beefing with MS-13, and the Pico Locos clique of the Drifters is pushing CK. That's also because they got a Mid-City hood, they got a Jefferson Park hood, and they got this Pico Union hood. Now, that Mid-City hood is beefing with gangs like Mansfield Gangsta Crip and BY Gangsta Crip, which is By Yourself Gangsta Crip. That's why they pushing CK. But on that north side of Pico, MS-13 is kind of like pushed over there. So you're going to find these dudes south of Pico between Hoover and Vermont, and legitimately they hood should go from Olympic to Venice. But like I said, south side of Pico is where these dudes going to be beefing with PBS at. On the other side of Hoover, they got 18th Street. On the other side of Olympic, they got MS-13. On the other side of Vermont, they got Playboy 13. And on the other side of Venice, they got Easy Riders. So these dudes is tucked in the beef. Now, a lot of motherfuckers say they hood was jumping years back. Hey, we was over there. It's still there. And like a lot of these Sureño gangs, man, these gangs started a long time ago, man. Before the Bloods and the Crips was popping, some of these gangs, especially like East LA, these gangs started 19, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, we done told y'all before, we not in this shit for these fucking history lessons and shit. We just letting y'all know these hoods been around for a long time over here. And there's been a lot of murders back and forth between the drifters and the Playboys, man. Like we said, man, the PBS come through and blow your homie head off, man, it ain't no time for the peace treat, man. It's only time to play ball in these sections, man, and Pico Union be going up. Now, a hood that's popping close to the drifters, all you got to do is ride west down Pico, past the PBSs, you're going to be in these dudes' hood. They got a section in Long Beach, Mid-City, Harvard Heights, Low Bottoms. They tried to set up in Watts, but the bounty hunters wasn't having it. Number 6 on the list, we got Mid-City Stoners. 13. Now, Mid-City Stoners, man, is going to be an active gang, man. These dudes will be everywhere. They'll be all down Washington if you let them. They'll be all through Pico. And they got a lot of enemigos on the list. Now, they Harvard Heights set is going to be right next to the PBSs. They beefing with them dudes. They also going to be in Mid-City. They beefing with 18th Street. They beefing with the 20 Bloods. And they beefing with the BPSs. They Long Beach set is going to be pushing CK. But they beef with the Eastside Longos. Beef with Barrio Pobre. They beef with the 20 Crips and the Insanes in Long Beach. They was trying to set up a set on the low end of the east side. They in the low bottoms. They was trying to set up by Watts. The bounty hunters put a stop to that. But they definitely in the low bottoms beefing with Barrio Evil. And they beefing with Varrio 29th Street. Man, these dudes is everywhere through the city. They Harvard Heights clique, like we said, is going to be next to PBS. Between Western and Ardmore. And between Pico and Olympic. That's not a huge area. But these guys make it look big, man, because they be all over the place. They tucked in between MS-13, Hellbound. Hellbound not really out, but they tucked in between the 20s. They hood kind of bleed into the 20s and the PBSs. They Mid-City clique is also going to be on Pico and Olympic. Now, that area ain't too crazy, but they be at Queen Anne Park, man. They definitely over by Queen Anne Park, right next door to that MS-13 clique that's also through Pico and Olympic. Now, they Mid-City clique, like I said, Pico and Olympic, but they going between Crenshaw and Rempau. MS-13 is going between Crenshaw and Arlington. But across Pico, with them just going down West Boulevard, they going to run into 18th Street. But they definitely cracking on 33rd in the low bottoms, man. And it's not too many hoods that these dudes going to be cool with. Now, I said the Crenshaw boys, the ones that be at Queen Anne Park, and the 33rd Street Locos, them is going to be their most active sections. But like I said, they still in Long Beach, trying to put it down against all the other hoods on the east side of Long Beach. But nonetheless, Mid-City Stoners definitely playing ball in these sections. Now, number 5 on the list, we going to a hood that's close to the Mid-City Stoners by PBS and by the Drifters, beefing with the Harpys between Venice and Washington. We got the number 5 hood, Easy Riders 13. Now, Easy Riders, man, they really get cracking, man. They super popping on New Hampshire between Venice and Washington. They beefing with MS-13, beefing with the Playboys, beefing with the Harpys. Now, the Easy Riders, they do fuck with the Ghetto Boyz and the low bottoms, man. We touched on the Ghetto Boyz. Easy Riders fuck with them dudes. Now, I don't know what type of connection they got with the Crazy Riders. I think they just like in a rider car. But these Sureño gangs, they don't have cars like Neighborhood Crip or the Gangsta Crip car or the Rollin car. You know what I'm saying? That's real loose because they all fall under the 13. They all under the 13. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to consider that a car, but it's like they ain't got no choice. And we don't have Norteños in Southern California, so it's really no opposition car for them to say, oh, I'm with the 13 car. It's just, hey, they 13 and that's it. But like I said, they beefing with PBS, beefing with the Drifters. They've also known to beef with West Boulevard, and they beef with 18th Street. But they going to be closest to that Harpys Dead End clique, man. Washington is going to separate Harpys Dead End clique and the Easy Riders, and that's who they cracking against right now. Now, on the other side of Magnolia, that's going to be 18th Street. So they tucked right in between these hoods, man. They really ain't got nowhere to go. That's what make Pico Union so dangerous in this area, man. These hoods is all next to each other. It ain't no room for error in these sections. Man, we seen a story where they had a member that was fucking with somebody from Harpys, and they was gonna DP the bitch or do whatever to her. Man, that bitch ended up pulling up with 10 bullet holes in her body. Easy Riders not playing with Harpys. Now, they don't control a large area, But when you go to their hood, you gonna see they streets, they got these small streets through their hood, man. And you definitely don't want to get caught going up New Hampshire off Washington. It's popping over here. But number 4 on the list, we going back towards the low bottoms, not too far away from the Easy Riders, 23rd Street. We hit the Primera Flats, 13. Now, when you leave in Varrio 41st Street hood, you just roll up Main. Between Main and Central, that's where you're going to have Primera Flats. Right there between Adams and 22nd. These dudes is going to be pushing the 2-3 very, very heavily. They fully present in Varrio 22 hood. They beefing with Loco Park and they beefing with the Ghetto Boyz. Now, the original Primera Flats, which y'all may have heard about way back, was Aliso Village. But these dudes is extremely active over here, man. They make their presence known, as felt. Like I said, on 23rd, on 22nd, on Adams, San Pedro. They beefing with the Ghetto Boyz, beefing with Varrio 22nd Street. They also beef with Varrio 38th Street. And they also beef with the Harpys. These dudes is cracking at Trinity Park. Now, they was battling with the Ghetto Boyz at Trinity Park for that area. And I'm going to say, man, right now, they up at Trinity Park with it. Like I said, they on 23rd with it. But we didn't see these dudes pushing through Rollin 20 hood, striking up all through their hood. Now, I don't think they beef with them dudes, but that's how close they hoods is. But with them beefing with the Harpys, that's just a ride down Adams. It's probably 5 blocks, and they in the Harpys hood. So that's why they close to them. They close enough to them dudes to beef with them. But Primera Flats is going to be a storied hood, old school hood, man. And they cracking over here on the east side of South Central. And you know, it's been a lot of deadly shootouts over here on Wall by Trinity Park. These dudes is really active over here. Ain't nothing to play with. Number 3 on the list, right next to Primera Flats, on 22nd Street, they got a small hood, but they still here. They still by this low bottom area right up under the 10 off Washington. Varrio 22nd Street. Now, Varrio 22nd Street is going to be between 22nd and Washington and San Pedro and Central. Now, these dudes really going to be like on 20th and 21st. Between them sections right there, like on Griffin. I say closer to Griffin in between Central, not so much Stanford. But we did see a dude killed over here on Washington and San Pedro back in November. So it's still cracking in this section. Now, these dudes going to be going at it with the Primera Flats. We done seen the Pueblos whacking these dudes out. I see motherfuckers say the Pueblos don't beef with these dudes. Hey, man, what I be seeing a lot in the comments, motherfuckers talking about, oh, this hood don't beef. This hood don't beef. Hey, when we see a motherfucking hood put another hood on the wall and whack it out and show y'all, these motherfuckers beefing. It ain't nothing to say. You know, this ain't no opinion. You know what I'm saying? Now, historically, if they hoods is known to beef, I can't say. But I'll say, if Pueblo whack out 22nd Street, they motherfucking beefing. I don't give a fuck what generation it is that's whacking these niggas out. They beefing. Now, we also seen the Rollin 20s in their hood too. But again, they hood not that big. So it's real close to the 20 hood, close to that Primera Flat hood. But these dudes are still present in their section. Now, these dudes have also gone over territory against the Street Saints. Now, the Street Saints, they not really there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say they hood inactive. They was holding it down between 22nd and Washington, between San Pedro and Maple. But 22nd Street, their numbers may be dwindling, but they still putting work over here and still entrenched in some beef. Now, I ain't seen them beefing with Loco Park or anything like that. Like I said, primarily, I seen Primera Flats still whacking these dudes out. And hey, shit, they may be on the edge. Primera Flats may give it to these dudes and it may be over with. You know what I'm saying? Real soon. But for now, they section is still being held down by Varrio 22nd Street. Now, going from the low bottoms up to East Hollywood, we hitting on a set that's right by MS-13, Clanton, Temple Street, hidden by Santa Monica Boulevard and the 101. Number 2 on the list, La Mirada Locos. Now this hood is actually pretty cracking, man. This is a hood that y'all don't hear a lot about. The area been gentrified, but it's still popping between Santa Monica and Beverly and Vermont and Hoover. Now, across Hoover is the Bellevue Dukes. They didn't make this list. They not active like that. But La Mirada is definitely here. These dudes also beefing with MS-13. They beefing with White Fence, and they beefing with Armenian Power. Now, that Armenian Power shit, them dudes, when the shit be talking about them niggas is mobsters and they getting money, that just mean they hung this shit up. They hung this street shit up, they getting money, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even gonna talk about them dudes. But La Mirada is really cracking on Virgil. And they too are surrounded by their enemies in this section. Now we ain't seen too many bodies in this section, but like I said, across Vermont, MS-13 and Clanton is really going at it. I don't know if they're not really worried about La Mirada, but we done seen these dudes out on Virgil, man. Now this section also is supposed to have a Crip gang over here too. I don't know about that, but the La Mirada Hustlers, that's supposed to be a Hustler Crip set. But I would say it's the same as that Crip set that's supposed to be in Loco Park. Inactive, non-existent. Now once you cross Santa Monica Boulevard in they hood, to the west of that is White Fence. Now we done already touched on White Fence, but La Mirada hood goes beyond Santa Monica Boulevard. So they got a pretty big section. But again, these dudes got activity over here. That's why they made the list. And to wrap it off, number 1 on the list, we going back up to Hollywood, next to MS-13, Clanton, Temple Street, all them hoods up there. Varrio Sur.
I put on for my city, city of the stars. We don't show these hoes no pity. If that bitch thirsty, why the all she getting? What that bitch name all the time I be forgetting, yeah. Cause I'm a player, homie. I'm a crazy individual. Go up the Hollywood sign just to fuck a hoe. I feel like getting lit. Pop a bottle and turn up to BA's music trick. We gonna bring them hits, them beats on the track.
Now this is they stoners clique over here. They also go by Varrio Sur 13. They go from Hollywood Boulevard to Santa Monica Boulevard, tucked in between Gower and Van Ness. You mostly gonna see these dudes by Gower and Fountain in that whole area, but this is still a pretty small set, but they definitely active over here. Now these dudes got a couple sets. They got one in the Harbor area, and they also beef with 18th Street and MS-13. But despite their size, Varrio Sur still be holding its own in this area amongst all enemigos, White Fence, MS, Clanton, all of that. But that's the last hood that's gonna make this list that has some activity, and it's still dangerous for niggas to be pulling up in their hood. You know what I'm saying? So this Rap News Street Politics, we hit y'all with the 24 most dangerous sets between Pico, Union, Hollywood, and we was back in the low bottoms, Eastside, South Central. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Stay tuned into the channel. We're gonna keep dropping heat.